INTPs at their best are rational and curious individuals who seek to understand the nature of the world and are always on the lookout for new perspectives and ideas. They construct a logical framework to describe the world, seeking to understand the true structure and causal relationships of and between objects and events. They seem to never tire of acquiring knowledge. It is important to them that the ideas, theories, and facts they accept are internally consistent and make sense to them, so they are very difficult to mislead or manipulate. That said, they sometimes struggle to fit into situations where a more relaxed attitude to the truth is required to thrive, and often find themselves baffled by other people's clear disregard for logic or coherent arguments. Their primary interest is in evaluating and organizing all of the information they encounter in order to grasp the fundamental truth about the nature of reality. INTPs believe that the best way to ensure that their understanding of the world is thorough and multifaceted is to seek out opportunities to discover as much information as possible to incorporate into their vast internal database. In this way, they can be perceived as very open minded because they search for as many perspectives and possibilities as they can in an effort to personally test and evaluate each one. When exposed to a new situation, their minds will fill with imagination about what it could mean and all of the things that could happen. It is important, however, for INTPs to balance this thirst for new opportunities and ideas with a grounded reflection on how similar situations or events have played out in the past. INTPs who allow themselves to draw on personal experience and empirical evidence without immediately resisting the limitations they impose on unfettered imagination will discover that doing so allows them to focus their intellectual engagement in the directions that are most likely to bear the fruit of valid and exciting new insights. As the INTP grows and matures, they will begin to find a balance between the rational structure of the scientific world and the value laden structure of the human world. They will develop a sense of appropriate times and places to engage with their skeptical and curious natures, and will become more comfortable in adapting themselves to the needs and expectations of their society and the people they care about. They will learn that building emotional connection and engaging in circumstantially appropriate behavior need not be considered a threat to their intellectual exploration of personal, rational principles. That said, INTPs will always be more analytical and curious than most other types, refusing to accept a perspective or fact without rigorous internal verification of its logical consistency and truth value, making them trusted advisors to those they do develop relationships with. Mature INTPs are very good at developing hunches about which idea is most likely to be valid and which possibility is most likely to come true. They are also quite good at inferring the meaning or symbolism behind various events and concepts. That said, due to their desire for rigorous logical examination, they often do not find much pleasure of gratification in engaging with this intuitive ability unless it's in service of some larger goal or in order to help someone they care about. Because they are so focused on personal analysis of various theories and data, INTPs resist efforts to accumulate and incorporate objective information gleaned from others' research or experience without submitting it first to rigorous inquiries. They tend not to see the value, for example, in judging how the scientific community as a whole is likely to interpret a new data point, preferring instead to develop their own individual interpretation, using societal perspectives merely as a jumping off point. However, when they are sufficiently motivated, they are very skilled at coming to objective and scientifically accepted conclusions, regardless of whether or not they feel personally compelled by them. And those who allow themselves to practice this skill will find it to be very useful when they are faced with academic or professional challenges that require standard methodology and objectively accepted facts. INTPs do not enjoy being forced to live in the moment and observe all the detail laden events of the present environment, finding extremely chaotic surroundings to be distracting and overstimulating. They often prefer to navigate new experiences and forays into the world with the assistance of those they trust to competently react to the uncertainty. That said, they are capable of doing it begrudgingly when no help is available. INTPs find it very difficult to evaluate personal or moral dilemmas in the absence of rational standards. That is to say, that for issues which have no right answer, where no option is logically or empirically better, and there are no perceivable social pressures in any direction, INTPs will have little to no guiding internal force to suggest to them what the best decision for them would be. Although they may, with much determination, be able to go their own way and follow their heart, it is not an exercise in which they thrive. They prefer to remain focused on what can be determined to be true analytically and to solve issues of the heart in ways that best harmonize with society and the people they care about. To summarize, INTPs are intellectually insatiable and inquisitive individuals who analyze all possible information to determine how it can fit securely into their precise internal models. They do so by seeking out a grand variety of possibilities and perspective, always searching for new ways to look at things. When they balance these capabilities and skills with an eye on their own personal experience and empirical evidence, as well as the values and morality their society perceives to be objectively good, they can develop enormously cogent and compelling arguments, cutting through ages of accepted wisdom to pinpoint the real truth, and leading society into entirely new avenues of scientific and rational inquiry.